Hey guys, Perry Ansley here, Slab Happy Lures. Hope everyone's doing all right. This is part 2 of the East Tennessee Fishing Expo down in Knoxville, Tennessee. We'll be right back with you after this. Today's video is brought to you in part by Wind Rider Apparel, Mossine Market and Deli, Artistic Printers, Rebel River Outlet, Mammoth Ridge RV Park, The Angler Magazine, Bait Pop Live Sonar Intensifier, Rougarou Tackle Company, Hooker's Terminal Tackle, Ayler Packaging, and Slab Happy Lures. 2-inch paddle tails right there. Let me get a different color that you can see a lot better. Get one of my favorites. Yellow jacket. Let me open it up here and show you guys what I'm talking about. On our 2-inch paddle tail swim baits, let me find out where the camera's at. I always mess that up. See all those ribs? Well, when you're applying the bait pop on these, let me get this. Let me open it up. You can see it's not been opened yet. Just open it up. Now this is you can still get this colored bait pop if you want to. It still comes in certain colors as well. But anyway, when you apply this bait pop on this bait, it sets down in the ribs of that bait instead of just on the outside, and covers that bait well. And again, you can buy the clear now to put on there. It doesn't change the color of the bait. And what that does on these baits anyway, um, that holds that scent a lot longer in the grooves of that bait, and that makes it just that much more effective. um, you can put it on again, if you're bass fishing, um, I love to throw a speed worm, the Zoom U-Vibe, is it? Speed worm. I love to throw that, and that's gonna be perfect for holding that bait on there because it's got the grooves in the worm, and also for those of you who don't know, um, it's a worm that you can use on top water as well. I've caught fish on top water using that, speed worm. Black sapphire is my favorite color in that worm. Although, the watermelon's not bad either. Or um, there's another one that's really good. If I, it may come to me later. But anyway, me and my son were on Douglas, and it's late April probably. I'm thinking it was late April. Bass were up on the banks. Up, the big females were on the nest, and we were we were just Texas rigging and pitching it in their nest and just pulling it through. And a lot of times, just as soon as that hit there and sat there for just a second, you'd see your line, do like a crappie bite, or you'd see them pick it up, and move it out of their nest. And some of them you can kind of catch with your eye if the water's pretty clear, and you can see them grab it and set the hook. We caught we didn't fish that long, but man, we caught bass until we were tired of catching bass off of that worm. But anyway, it would have been so much better with the bait pop, with the scent. And with the amino acids that's in the bait pop now, it'll let fish hang on to it and taste it, better. Muddy water. Last year when I first become, you know, a representative of bait pop, I got out there. It was February on Douglas, and the water was still dirty. They were still cleaning up from the Hurricane Helene, and I was on the upper end of the lake, and like I said, the water was kind of, it was really muddy at the upper end, um, but I was cast into these open water fish, and and what that bait pop was doing, I was catching fish. I caught 40 fish that day in muddy water, and and I still believe a lot of it have to do with the scent trail that it leaves. They can track that bait even if they can't see it, and a lot of them would track it all the way back to the boat, of course, like we always see on live scope. Um, but it gave us that much more time and influence on that fish for it to bite and us to get them in the boat. And I caught some nice fish that day doing that. But again, I had a great time down at the show. Um, Sorry I didn't get to see some of those who came by to see me. Jeremy Mattingly, Crappie Monster, I went back to see him. I talked to him there Saturday for just a little bit. I actually got back there, and um, he actually had some people bringing him some food so he could eat because he was hungry. I understand. And I didn't want to take up too much of his time, and get in his way. And it was a pleasure to meet him. I had spoken with him, on Facebook quite a bit. Uh, Again, there's no reason to have animosity toward any other person that is selling baits or making baits or someone in the business. Come on, now let's grow up. You know, uh, not everything is like it is on TV. We don't need to be ruthless in our pursuit of making a living at what we do with this fishing thing. Man, it's ridiculous how some people are that way, and I always say there's enough meat left on the bone for everybody. And just let's always stay in our lane, do our own thing, and put this battle that we try to create, put it out of the way, man. There's no sense to that. Fishing's too much fun. Um, Fishing influences too many people for us to be throwing any negative vibes up like that and wanting to be number one. Wanting to make that much more money. That's ridiculous to be that way, in my opinion. I'm not on their level, but but still, if you're if you're doing stuff like that and chasing that dollar to get rich, be careful of that. Uh, you'll get more than you bargained for with that, I'm afraid. But anyway, it was a pleasure to be down there. Um, Again, thanks to LaRue and Jason, uh, White Pine, all those that came by, um, Odad, Jim, Scott Bunch, Teddy Willett, Ethan, um, all those, Chris Archer that come by, and it was a pleasure to speak with him. Um, I had a ball down there, and it was a good show. They had a lot of vendors there. You know, um, there was still a lot of people there. I wasn't there Thursday, like I said, but Friday when I was there, there was a lot of people coming back and forth, and uh, a lot of good products there. I didn't get a chance to go over and see Mr. Trey from, um, you know, um, Sniper Marine. I didn't get a chance to go over there and speak with him, but You know, I'll see him at the show, or I'll see him at the tournament, our next tournament probably. Um, but you know, I had a blast. Um, you know, I can't say enough about the guys at Bait Pop. Again, great people. Enjoyed talking with them. Um, Not just talking fishing, talking life. You know, and telling stories and stuff like that. You know, and building on that relationship. And you know, it's these guys take a blind chance with people, you know, when they let them in on their team to represent their product, you know, and I'm grateful they give me the opportunity. Um, I hope that I can do great things for them. Uh, they don't need a whole lot of help. Their product works. It speaks for itself. It's got, you know, a great reputation, you know, from back in the 80s, from where it came from. And, you know, technology's a lot better now than it was then. And uh, John and Chuck are um, taking a hold of that, you know, and making that thing that John's grandfather started back then, well, was early as the 70s, and making it greater, making it better, and making it perform much, much better. Um, but hats off to them for keeping that family business going. Um, Again, you know, good Christian people that I enjoy being around that, that see things like I do as far as, and I spoke with them about it. Um, the level of maturity that you get to in your walk with Christ, um, when you look past the sin and see the sinner, you know, and see their struggle in that sin and realize that um, sin is a battle, you know, and we all have some type of sin that creeps up in our lives. And again, the Bible says those who say that they have no sin is a liar. You know, we're born into it from the get go. And but anyway, I'm gonna get off here for now. I rambled on for a long time here. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. But until next time, I'm Perry Hensley with Slab Happy Lures. Come check us out. You know, please go and give Bait Pop, you know, a look, a consideration, and let me tell you, it does what it says it'll do. And I'm 100% supporter of that product. And until next time, I'm Perry Hensley, and we'll see you.